I said you can't spell daddy without the Addy. So you go close the door. The doggies are going crazy today. Jack's in his kennel. Is he supposed to be playing outside today? Yep. Him and Eka got into it this morning. Guys, we have a wonderful show, a new format for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Sean and Addy will be joining us. Our new format for the rest of this week and going into maybe the early parts of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, we're going to try a 15-minute show and try to get a new format done. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, where we go on expeditions, we go out into the world, because Fridays we like to explore. So instead of doing a show here, we're actually going to go on the outside. Will you please go tell Jack to stop barking? Please go out there and tell him. We're going to get to that on the next level, guys. Yep. Jack is a guard dog, and I don't know what's going on right now, but he is ready to go get something that is outside. Is it trash day? Maybe he hears something out there. Yeah. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get a new format going, and we're going to start it right off the bat. So, Addy, if you could please lead everybody for that simultaneous sip, that big reason they're here, joining us across space and time. We did start even earlier than 8 o'clock today, so sorry for you live streamers. We keep getting in front of the curve here. Good job, Addy. Go ahead and start us off, please.
All you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard or chalice or stein.
A canteen. Don't skip it.
Okay. A canteen, jug, or a flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I usually like coffee. Hot cocoa works too, with crunchy peanut or soft peanut butter. But anything works. And let's do a simultaneous sip.
Each show will start with our simultaneous sip, no matter where you're coming from, any time of the day, any time of the week, no matter where you're at, you'll be able to join us with a simultaneous sip. You can count on Addy delivering that.
Yep.
Now, if you would please put your hands over your heart, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Thank you for joining us today with Addy and Daddy to get your pledge on.
Let's go, kids. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And that's one reason that we're thankful we live here in America, is that we do have justice for all. And another update on the Clintons, the House is looking to hold them in contempt for not showing up after their subpoena. More on that as it unfolds. In Afghan, for world news, the Afghan Minister of Education confirms that access to schools for women in the country permanently banned. Permanently banned, little girl. Addy, that means girls, women like you are not allowed and will not allowed to receive any education in the country of Afghanistan.
Whoa.
What is that going to do to the women of that country?
They're not going to be smart.
Yeah, it's going to make them submissive, not very intelligent. It's going to force them to obey like slaves. And you know what's weird about that I just mentioned it? Because Afghanistan, after saying that women can't go to school anymore, they've now changed the situation to allow slaves. There's another restructuring under the Muslim guidance of 4-part to society, with the lowest part qualifying for slavery. They have a special name for it. We'll get more on that this week, guys. But even after we have abolished slavery, after all the white countries in America, in the UK, tried to put a stop to the slavery coming out of Africa and the Middle East, and we shouldn't say try, did we stop slavery?
Yes.
We did. And a lot of credit and a lot of understanding is skewed out there from who ended slavery, how it ended, where it came from, and how it's still trying to take place. Yeah. Now in the Middle East and across Africa, there are still slaves, and there are now legal slaves coming your way to the Middle East. So when we look at human rights and we look at a country, God bless you, America, that ended slavery, freed the slaves, have allowed access to healthcare for all, education for all, we now see countries in 2026 banning women from even getting education and creating slavery yet again. Now, this is a question that many people need to ask because white people are a minority on earth by far, not even 10% of the population. And having ended slavery, that's not going to hold on too well if the minority of earth is white people who want to end slavery and the majority being black and brown people with their leaders wanting to create slavery is going to be a problem. Will we be able to unite across all races and across all countries across the world to end slavery? Well, we're not part of the WHO anymore, and we don't know which organization is going to enforce that, but we do see things happening across Africa and across Asia that sadden us and sicken us to see these things taking place. Will America return and have the conversation that's needed to be able to address these issues? We don't know. We're bringing it to you today to let you know that the Middle East is wanting to bring slavery back like they've always have and always will do. And it is up to those that have the strength and the power to stop it. But as we are dealing with our own at-home problems, riots across, and people organizing very well against the government, a little too well, as we learn more in the news today, we're left wondering what is going to happen with the world with certain individuals already wanting to bring slaves back and putting it into law. Look for more on that today as that gets picked up. Japan, following the opposite side of that completely, their youngest now governor, Taketo Ishida, the youngest governor of Japan ever, ran his full campaign on stopping immigration, something that we hear here in the U.S. as a regular debate. Japan has elected their new prime minister. They're doing a whole new election board right now because the entire country has seen and observed what's happened to Europe and America when allowing illegal immigrants and allowing those that do not want to partake in the culture of the country they're coming to come into that country. And then, so in Japan, they're not tolerating it. They're not going to let the numbers get to what we've seen in the UK with the children raped and the stabbings and all the other things that take place on a regular basis. The UK responded by not allowing little girls to have pepper spray, not allowed to have mean words, and to put people that make any weird protest or any weird thing online just straight to jail, while allowing a man, an Islamic man who stabbed somebody because they had a Quran and they weren't Muslim, stabbed this man and didn't even serve jail time. Go look this story up. There's lots of them. This man didn't even serve jail time because the UK thought, well, you know, he's upset. You attacked Islam. But the citizens in the UK, all mostly white people, who simply said things online that you don't agree with, the government agree with, they're in jail years. They're going to be in jail all of this year while you're running around having fun with your family and doing whatever you want this year. We have UK citizens in jail because they didn't like women being raped by the Pakistanis. Now, we can say what we want here in America because we have the freedom of speech. Is that right, Eddie?
Yes, we do.
You can't do that around the world. And we're seeing Japan step up and say, we're not going to tolerate that here or allow any of that into our country. And that's their people. Your opinion's yours, and we want you to have it. But we're just letting you know that Japan is making a stand, and they are not taking the same stance on immigration that the EU has demanded all of their countries take. We're excited to see what happens there because the data doesn't lie, and the outcomes will prove all. Now, on some good news, we are seeing The Simpsons return. So let's talk a little bit about The Simpsons. Simpsons was an episode, TV show we grew up watching. The children haven't watched much of it, but we want to quote something because as we grew up watching The Simpsons, there was a special episode that happened in 1992. Now, when I heard this episode and this happened, my father and I had a wonderful conversation because that's how we did it when we watched The Simpsons. There's always something to talk about politically or just in culture. This particular piece was from 1992. You can't keep the Democrats out of the White House forever. And when they get in, I'm back on the streets with all my criminal buddies. In 2026, Democrats still want to let criminals roam free. They haven't even changed for the better, only for the worse. Now, that was Sideshow Bob. Now, for those of you who remember, Sideshow Bob tried to frame Krusty and kill some people and then try to, because Bart busted him, he's always trying to murder Bart, a child. And you would think that a criminal who tried to frame another individual and tried to set him up for murder and then tried to kill a little boy would be locked up in jail forever. Or if they were in Texas, we'd take care of it proper. Mm-hmm. But as you know, even in 1992, the jokes that the Democratic parties were going to allow criminals back onto the street didn't really make sense to me as a kid in Texas. You know, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But now as we've toured the U.S., as we've gone into cities across, and we've experienced San Francisco firsthand, we've seen Baltimore, we've seen New York City, we moved away from New York City, we've seen literal criminals that have hurt women in the same day already back on the street while the woman is still at the hospital. Did we see that in New York City?
Yes, we did.
Multiple times? Guys, that's a joke from 1992 that I didn't really get as a kid. And now as an adult, I not only understand it, I'm flabbergasted that it's so true that over 23 years later, it's even more true than it was in 1992 after they got the George Soros DAs activated and spread across. I can't get into details about how many more people that we've lost and died without dedicating an entire week of an episode to show you how many women and men have died on purpose because we strategically released the criminals that are killers back onto the streets. That doesn't sound like judges and juries and systems that are taking care of the innocent victims that continue to suffer at these hands. And yet, a joke from 1992 is more true now in 2026 than it ever even was in 92.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you guys. That's going to be it for our show today. We have a very quick episode. We're going to turn over to the children's corner now. Addy and Sean, you guys are in control now. Sean, you have something you want to teach the crew. What are you teaching us today?
Tigers.
What are you teaching us? Go ahead. You have the floor.
Tigers eat meat and they hunt prey.
That's good.
And they're very strong.
They are. Tigers are super strong.
And sometimes they have cubs to protect them.
That's right, Sean. Look at the camera right there. They do have cubs to protect them. That's right. And if you see a lion, tiger, or you see any kind of cat with their cubs, should you come up on them?
No.
That's the most dangerous.
And sometimes tigers and lions can be friends and wrestle together.
You have seen some of them together. We know that lions like to snuggle. Do tigers like to snuggle?
Yeah.
No, tigers are not snugglers. But did we see some lions snuggle up on those tigers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kitty cats can be friends. Thank you, Sean, for that corner. Thank you for teaching us about tigers. Addy, your turn, my lady.
I'm going to teach you kids about goblin sharks.
Ooh, goblin sharks. All right.
Goblin sharks, fun fact, goblin sharks have pink skin.
Whoa. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And they're the apex predator in the deep sea. And
How big do they get?
sometimes 12 to 20 feet long.
Whoa, that's pretty big. You remember that off the top of your head?
Yep. Thank you.
Nice job, little girl.
Thank you. And what they like to eat are bony fish, overpolluted squid. That squid have grown too much and they need to be lowered down more.
Thank goodness. Yeah, I've seen some old maritime stories. If you look at some of the old stories that we've read from some of our pirate tales, did they used to fight some giant squid on the open seas?
Yep.
Yeah, they did. Squid that could grab those massive boats.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, or ships we should call them. Yeah, absolutely. So those sharks are doing part of the ecosystem. They're keeping those giant squid from getting too giant. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Cool.
And what my favorite part is they eat crabs. They eat crabs.
All right. What kind of crab? They like that snow crab, that king crab? What kind of crab do you think they get? All you can eat buffet?
I think a snow crab.
Snow crab?
Yeah, I think a snow crab.
Yeah, they probably don't have to work on it as hard as we do to get those legs broken out before you
Yeah.
can get to the muscles.
Oh, you want to know about how they eat it? You know how they catch their food?
No, tell us.
There's like 2 rubber bands on their mouth, like right here somewhere. And the goblin shark holds it in, and when he sees one of his prey or one of the food that he likes, he launches it forward, and his jaw goes out and catches it and brings it back in.
That's kind of like the movie Alien. All right. Well, that's
and they're not
awesome.
harmless to humans, by the way. They're not harmless to humans.
They're not harmless to humans. Yeah. So they will harm humans.
They're not harmless. They're
Not harmless means they won't. You're saying not. You're using a
I
double
know this
negative.
one.
Are they harmless to humans?
No.
So they will eat humans.
No. they
Harmless means they won't touch the humans. Like this little ladybug is harmless.
don't.
Will they eat humans, Eddie?
No, they will not.
So they're harmless to humans.
Yep.
Yeah, don't say not harmless.
Okay.
Harmless.
Harmless.
Harmless. All right, great job. Great show today. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get one more American pledge and let's get out of here. Sean, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Look at the camera, buddy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, little buddy.
Good job.
God bless. Take care today, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
God bless America.